Hi guys, so in this video we'll be discussing specialization and money. So let's just go with the introduction first of all. So what is specialization? Specialization basically means that you start producing things in which you have a comparative advantage. So let's say if there is a guy, right, and he can either produce, let's say, bread or he can produce cars, right? And he can either produce three units of bread or four units of car. In this case, the ratio is 3 to the ratio 4. So if he gives up 3 breads, he will be able to produce 4 cars, right? So that basically means that since he's giving up less to produce more, he should actually give up this thing to produce the cars. Because this is not true the other way around. When he gives up, let's say, 4 cars, he can produce only 3 breads. And so that's actually um, that's actually a decrease as compared to increase. And so this guy should produce cars. He should work in the car industry and he should work within that um, industry only. So in this case, he's producing cars, right? So he just joined that industry. Now, what will happen within that industry itself? So in the car industry, you have a lot of things going on. You have, let's say, the first part would be to get the steel or the metal to make the cars, and then after that, you obviously carve out the body of the car, and then you fit everything, and then I mean there are a lot of processes. Then you paint the car and so on. So in this case, the person looked at first of all he looked at the two different industries that he could join, the bread industry or the cars industry, and so he chose the cars industry due to comparative advantage. Now, when he joined this industry, obviously there are a lot of processes involved in making a car, and so in specialization what happens is he isn't really supposed to produce every single thing. He's not supposed to produce one complete car because that would take a lot of time. Think about it. The guy will go to some probably importer and then get steel from there and then carve out the body and then fit the whole thing and then start painting the whole thing. That's going to take a lot of time. um, Aaron Smith talked about this in his book Wealth of the Nations, about how, let's say, if there is a needle factory and they're trying to produce needles, then if one person produces his own needles, that's going to take a lot of time and it'll in the end produce less needles as compared to people specializing. So, in the case of specialization, what's going to happen is this guy will only work on, let's say, getting the steel, right? And there will be one more guy who will work on carving out the shape of the car, and then there will be one more guy doing this. And so when you start dividing your work up according to what you are better in, what basically what you have a comparative advantage in, because you can save time, right? If you're, let's say, better in getting steel, then you can work on getting steel, and that's going to save time and increase efficiency and productivity in the long run. So this process is known as division of labor. When you're dividing your labor up into different sorry, if you're dividing your total production process into different small production processes, and you're assigning people who are most suited for those specific processes. So that's exactly what's happening in this case. So this is what specialization is. um, right? And why does it lead to the use of money? Why does specialization necessitate the use of money? So let's say if you're in, I don't know, the Stone Age, then in that period of time you would by yourself. Let's say if you want to eat some food, you will grow some crops, right? You will grow some crops here, whatever. I mean, I don't even know how to draw crops, but okay. So you're growing some crops here, um, and you are plowing the land, you are watering the plants, you're doing every single thing, and then you, in the end, you take this sort of thing, you start cooking it, and then after that, you start eating that as well. I mean, you eat it in the end. So you are doing every single thing right from scratch. In this case, I mean, you don't really need anyone's money because I mean you're doing everything on your own. But let's say in the case of specialization, since this guy is only producing steel, now he can't feed himself with steel, can he? This guy is only carving the car out, he can't feed himself with that, unlike in this case where you are producing something that could sustain your life. In this case, however, you just cannot. So you need something, right? So you're producing, let's say, producing steel in this case. So you are producing steel, and then after you get some money from that, right? The money is coming back into your pocket. Then you can buy anything that you want. You can actually buy the crop from this guy here. So you can pay him money. You can pay him some money because your job is paying you money, and then you can get things that you actually need, which are necessary for your life. So this is known as specialization over here. And then, I mean, there's specializations at different levels as well. So this one is specialization at an industrial level. This one is specialization at an individual level when you're choosing where to work in a specific industry. And it is also known as division of labor. This part over here, and then obviously this is specialization necessitating the use of money, because now you have money, right? So you can specialize in, let's say, the production of a specific production process, and then you can earn some money from there, buy the things that you actually need in the end, right? So let's just look at the different characteristics of money. The first one is acceptability. So money should be acceptable. Let's say in this case, if there are two different people, person one, person two, and then person this guy is not producing food or anything that can sustain his life. So he is relying on money to be able to buy things from someone else who is providing those things um, in exchange for money. So let's say if this guy is the person who's growing those crops. So if money is acceptable, then obviously money will work. If it is not acceptable, then yeah, money will not work. That's how simple it is. Then relative scarcity. So this one is pretty easy as well. So the reason why money has any value at all is due to scarcity. Let's say if you had unlimited money, right? Unlimited money. Let's say if maybe pebbles were counted as money. So in that case, we have unlimited pebbles, and anyone could, you know, just use our money to buy stuff. So no one would take those pebbles because they can't just take those pebbles by themselves. There is an unlimited supply of pebbles, virtually unlimited supply of pebbles, and so there is no point in working for someone and then acquiring the pebbles in return. Then the third one is divisibility. So let's say if you get a 10 rupees note, right, and you want to buy probably only like one 5 rupees chip, a packet of chips, sorry. So you need to buy this. You're buying a packet of chips from the shop. Then if money was not divisible, then you wouldn't be able to buy this. Because obviously then you have 10 rupees and you will then have to buy two packets rather than one. But since money is divisible, you can just use the 5 rupees note, or you can pay you back 5 rupees in return. Then in that case, what's gonna happen is money is divisible. So if this thing wasn't durable at all and it just, I don't know, vaporized or evaporated like water, then in that case this wouldn't really hold any value. People wouldn't really care about money because it's not durable. There is no point in acquiring money if it is not durable. Then the next part is uniformity. So all the notes should be the same, right? So let's say if you have one 10 rupees note, it should be able to buy you the same amount of goods and services, let's say from the same place at the same point in time, just to keep everything simple. So you're at the same shop, right, and you have two different 10 rupees notes. Then in that case, both the notes should be able to buy you the same amount of goods and services. It's not like if one of the notes is actually, I don't know, good looking or it's in a better condition, so you'll be able to buy more as compared to the other note. So it doesn't work like that because money is uniform, and that's pretty much